Sunday afternoon, Los Angeles, California. Here, how the street look like. Totally empty. Here and there, some people are still driving, and here and there, one person with a mask on her face, walking on the sidewalk. And here is a man riding a bike, a poor black man. Sunday afternoon, LA, California. There is some movement, people still walking around, driving around, but not like always. Streets are not jammed as ever. People are still driving. But I guess at 10 o'clock tonight, I should be out and seeing what the heck going on in this country. I read an article about Israeli strike on Gaza after Palestinian fires actually two missiles to the city of Ashkelon, and gladly there were not so many casualties. On the other hand, on Afghanistan, there were a lot of attack on civilian people in city of Kabul, while Pompeo trying to negotiate with Taliban for a peace. When attacks happening, in the United States, the last 2 days we have few shootings in the mall. Those are not a good sign what happening around the world with the so-called incoming president of Mr. Biden. The way that Mr. Biden is going to set his cabinet is not so helpful to Middle East at all. One of his assignments is to lift the ban on for immigrants from touristic countries to the United States. So the terrorists understand his language. That's why they strike. In Hamas in south of Israel, and actually last week it was a tremendous strike on Iranian forces in Syria by the Israeli Air Force. So Israel understands what's going on. Israel does not stop fighting the terror. The United States will stop if Biden goes on. And other sign of Mr. Biden is to open up the southern border. Meaning maybe continue building the Trump wall that prevented the last 4 years for illegal immigration to become almost a stop. So I don't know who needs open borders, and I don't know who likes terrorists to penetrate the United States, especially after what happened with Pfizer courts, especially what happened with Pfizer court during Obama's administration. So in reality, Biden is not president. In reality, Barack Hussein Obama going to manage Biden presidency. Is a get back of the time of Obama. And there is no deny it. Nobody denies it even. Obama does not deny it. Usually president after 2 terms, they go home, they write their biography, they build their library, they don't even get involved in the politics of the day. That's what happened to presidents, ex-presidents. Barack Hussein Obama decided to stay about a mile from Capitol Hill, Washington. Of course, officially, his house is on the island, beautiful island, I don't remember the name, that they purchased $14.5 million a house for him. So, what's happening in the world and in Washington is two different things, two different directions, and devastating for the United States foreign policy. Because what happened during the Trump did not happen any time in the history of America for him to be able to break such incredible highs existed between Arabs and Israelis for it wasn't just political card that the Arab created after 1967 Khartoum argument, that they said no to peace, no to Israel, never ever. So for Sudan to literally get rid of this political treasury, let's say, that's a huge deal for anyone in the world. To understand that the Arabs' mind now is clear who is the real enemy of them, not the Israelis. The real enemies are Iranian and Shia. That goes back basically to a division that existed since Islam creation. We know that there were faction of Islam that called Shia and Sunni, and they hate each other more than they hate Donald Trump. More than left hate Donald Trump. So, the left in the United States, influenced by transformation of the United States from whatever it is for 230 years to one step closer to Islamization of Barack Hussein Obama. Meaning Barack Hussein Obama follows the book of Muslim Brotherhood. That's the same book of Jeremiah Wright, them to the United States. So we know the future cabinet or administration, if it won't be any miracle for re-election for Donald Trump, is a carbon copy and worse than 8 years of Barack Hussein Obama. But it's only really what's going to happen, because we know that if the legal position that Trump has that is constitutional, and it's all come back to Philadelphia, because the election on Philadelphia was against the Constitution of the United States. They counted votes after the poll closed, after 8 o'clock. And that's against the Constitution of the United States. So if Constitution were held, meaning the Supreme Court must throw all the vote collected and counted legally or illegally in the United States of America. At that time, by 10 o'clock on Tuesday night, November 3rd, Trump was 628,000 votes ahead in Pennsylvania, and I believe something around half of it in Wisconsin or Michigan, I don't remember, one of them. So that's all happening because there is tremendous pressure on Donald Trump to let go, that he cannot go. I wouldn't go. It reminds me basically the history of Hanukkah. United States today has the same situation that the Jews were when they were attacked by Roman with millions of soldiers, and they were such a small group. The similarity maybe is not about maybe the amount of people. I'm talking about the principle of history of Hanukkah. The oil that lasted for 8 days, and got a few people to let go and stand to the last second and commit suicide. Not to be surrounded to the Roman. And then the miracle of the Hanukkah brought light for 8 nights. That is celebration of Hanukkah. That is not a religion holiday, but a national holiday. That the light overcome the darkness. But sometimes to reach the light, you have to go through a darkness. When you light up a candle, around it is dark. We must go through that darkness to reach the light. And that will happen somewhere about 19 days from now. 3 weeks almost. 21 days to Hanukkah. God rules this world, and God creates miracles every day. The miracle of 2020 is transition from Trump to Trump by the law that we obey, and we must obey. So we see the signals already, what's happening, and Mr. Biden just have a temporary so-called elected office. The sign of a terror is ringing badly. Not only around the world, but in the United States too. It would be a bloodshed if Trump was re-elected. So maybe for the good of a country, he might go away and come back within next 2 years, with bringing the House with him. And then in 2022, of course, the presidential election start, and Donald J. Trump will run again for the presidency of the United States, and the actual landslide happened. Now, per what happened last week about the computer dominion, I still believe in science. So with geniuses, electronic geniuses that exist today around the world, Trump can prove maybe the theory of Sydney. I believe what Sydney says because I watched the election on 2 separate screens, the election night, until almost 1 p.m. And I watched it and I saw it, how the vote switched between 10 p.m. and 3 or 3:30 or 4 a.m. So we know that the fraud existed, no doubt about it. Biden himself declared that he organized a huge fraud. I have it on tape. But maybe that should happen. If the miracle would not happen on Hanukkah, then the miracle would happen in 2022, and then 2024. Because the wheel of justice are slow only on earth and Washington. The will of justice of God is there, ready, tested. So, if the truth should prevail, the lie must die. All those connected to the lie, and a huge lie, is mostly the left. And if Supreme Court of the United States cannot make the ruling because of, again, political reason, no other reason, not constitutional, they know constitutionally Trump is on the right side, the matter would go to Congress. This time, the member of Congress, every state will vote, meaning 51 states will vote, each state one vote. And if there are 51 states, and they are, 37 of these states are Republican. Republican must come together and vote for the people that voted for them. Because Trump not only got 74 million loyal voters, he also probably part of it, the 10 additional million, part of it are independent, part of them black that way, and part is Spanish, and many white too. It is incredible that something like that happening in the United States, but it should happen in the United States because of the freedom and because of the corruption. The systematic racism that all the leftists talk about should change name to systematic corruption. And it is, because left changes their word to accommodate their narrative that is a lie, and domination and power. But a lot of people in this world ahead of the left wanted to have power. Go back to time of Babylon. They built a tower to reach God, and God knew, so God demolished it. Then later on go back to Exodus of the Jews from slavery. God gave them freedom. And at the time that Egyptian people came back to their Pharaoh and said, "What happened to your God?" It brought a war among Egyptians. And it's written, "And I let the Egyptian take care of Egyptian." And that's what's happening today in the Democratic Party. The voters of Bernie and the left will demand, and rightfully, to be nominated in Joe Biden cabinet. If not, then the war would go on. Not between Republican and a Democrat, between Democrats and Democrats. And the war already started. We see it every day on TV. They declare it day and night, very clearly, what they want and what they want to do. So this is COVID of today, basically reporting of the today. The damn pandemic going on, and I'm not wearing a mask, and I never will. I'm banned from Facebook for 22 days or more, and I don't give a care. I don't give a damn. I'm trying to get to Parallel, and I can't get in. That's interesting. So I talk to myself while I drive and let you know what life look like for an American taxpayer, a deplorable Jew. My goodness. That a little bit understand more than many politicians and scientists. Someone that never finished high school. But that's okay. I'm not graduate of Harvard or Yale. I only study electric in Technion Haifa, Israel. Sub-engineer, completed engineering, electrical. I'm a builder, like Trump. I built many, many stores, churches, synagogue, golf courses, hospitals, houses, condos. Gee, 45 years in this country. I accomplished. Thank God. I worked every day until I could. I'm still working here and there. Driving pretty soon for Uber to deliver food. Remember, I was very rich, owned 7 houses once, 2 commercial building, a private plane, a flower shop, what else? A 9-unit condo, 30, 40 electrician, payroll of 20,000 minimum a week for a while. American dream. But every American dream has an end. My end wasn't good. I trusted my worker for 20 years, and he ate me up alive. But I'm still here, survive, living on Social Security and happy. Because of my spirit and my belief in God. Somebody else probably would get up and shoot the boy. No. God will do the job, because human cannot take another human life. Many people ask me, "You didn't shoot the guy?" I said, "No. This is the guy that I fed every day, fed his father every day, his mother worked in my office, and I trust him." So, the first thing God said to human, do not trust another human. Trust only God. So since then, year of 2005, when the doctor told me that I had a lung cancer, while I was losing all my asset at once, that wasn't a lung cancer, that was a stress. The CT showed that I had lung cancer. They were going to cut half of my small lung that hardly breathed. And today, they're telling me my gallbladder is bad. The CT shows my gallbladder has to be, I have to go through the surgery. And I say, No, it's only from stress. I've been under stress since the COVID started. Basically, I related COVID to one of the plague of God on earth due to loss of morality in our society. When you open an Instagram and you see girls that do anything, or boys in the shape of a girl or picture of a girl, that their work is to get your attention physically and then rob you financially. So morality lost its value in the United States of America due to technology. The same technology that came to help me and you to find our ways in the freeways, congested freeways. The same technology that's going to follow you now with the vaccine. So COVID did a lot of good to a lot of America. Yes, the elite, Amazon, Walmart, CVS, all the hospitals, they made tons of money on COVID, and they still do. While COVID basically could be solved with eating a garlic for 12 hours with a piece of bread and butter, and next day would disappear. That's what I did. And then I was banned from Facebook for a month because I wrote my story. So in a country that the pure story cut off for political reason, this country is downward to accept socialism and communism without knowing it. So we must be really stupid people to not read the global picture of this revolution that's happening under our eyes, and we see it clearly. Yet the corporation in America and the high tech with the media, colluding with the government of the United States intelligence as FBI and CIA to remove a legitimate elected president that they never accepted his legitimacy only because they don't like his New York accent or they don't like his tweets. Well, the Twitter and the Facebook that undermine our president are the most beneficiary of Trump presidency and the COVID. Look at it. So looking at it as a Jew, I see the real picture. And God said the world that we live in is not the world that we see. And the world that we see is not the world that we live in. So, America is sinking to darkness before it sees the light. Hopefully, the darkness is now. Because of darkness, we want light. And the light would come when the truth is exposed. As long United States of America still dominated by lies and deception and propaganda, the truth would not come out. would come out to break the back of the lies that exist in our society. Totally eliminated. Elimination of lies is very difficult task. A child in Gaza, or in Lebanon, or in West Bank is taught from childhood to have a gun and kill the Jew. Hate is taught in all the classrooms. Here in America, hate is snooped every day. Snooped, how do you call it? Produced every day. And fed in an empty brain of America that lost morality. Therefore, they never see the truth. They never hear the truth. Truth heard only by righteous people that know the difference between truth and lie. Lie do not have basis, and they have to be exposed one day and will be exposed. First, it took 4 years for the Congress of the United States to learn about the real dossier and what happened and what a political coup it was between CIA and FBI, Barack Hussein Obama, Joe Biden, and Hillary Clinton. Another month or so, maybe the judge that looking at the matter would come out with indiction. Maybe that would change the face of presidency of the United States. Maybe Donald Trump has to release all the documents regarding to what happened to him the last 4 years. It's not enough just to come and say, oh, that's terrible, that happened to me. Would never happen to another president. Of course it would happen to another president if you don't expose it right now. So people really know what happened in the United States of America. Why the beacon of freedom is silence? Why the journalism does not exist in the United States of America? And one that was there, it just been swollen by the wave of hatred. I'm talking about facts. So, I know I spoke 33 minutes and 24 seconds. What I'm gonna do, I apply for Uber and Lyft both to deliver food because I need the $200 or $150 a day to survive. Doesn't matter, work is good for you. And hopefully I create a channel that I would do the same thing that I did today. Just drive in a beautiful state of California with the high insurance and not congested freeway. Maybe I'll be able to show my patent that's sitting in my garage that going to reduce the traffic in California freeway to zero. Of course, that's after we cure from the mask and the traffic will be back to horrendous congestion. Even now, that is not congested, you're watching it, still driving 71 miles is okay, but practically we should be able to drive 75 miles without any fee that probably people have. So sometime it goes down to 60. I don't know if you can see. The sun probably doesn't show. Yeah, 60, you see. And then maybe my patent give me my American dream. My patent basically copy a pattern that exists in the sky. Meaning I'm going to follow the same method of flying. Every second on the skies of the United States, the statistic shows around 57 or 60,000 airplanes flying daily. And we know that there is no accident, no plane hit another plane. It's because a logatry that is perfectly calculated and approved by FAA. Every plane has a certain distance for another plane on air. When we fly on the highway on air, we must be in contact with the ground and follow the radar and follow the plan that previously input by the pilot for the flight and follows the guides of FAA. Same thing could happen on the ground. It requires little changes that the cost of it is literally not so much. Like every car going to have sensor in front and the back to keep distance between vehicles. There are signs that show you the speed on every lane. Let's say the lane that I'm driving right now at 74 should be 75. That's the fast lane. And whenever you see the orange line, going to be all another lane for the emergency. And the next lane on my right going to be speed of 65. Yes, the lane next to it could be 50, no 55, and so on. Meaning there are various speed for every lane, starting from 55, 60, 65, 75, from left to right, from right to left. And so practically every lane has its own speed. There is no passing from the right, only from the left of the vehicle. There is a reason for it mathematically. Europe drives the same way. Get in and get out of freeways has to be at certain speed. Getting in is going to be 57.5 miles per hour. The distance between each vehicle is going to be around 30 feet, so there is enough space for the car to enter the space between the two cars. And environmentally, my patent is saving a lot of gas and pollution, because if I put my car at 75 miles an hour on the cruising, an engine that cruises use less gas than engine that every 5 seconds start and stop like we're doing. So the saving going to be tremendously on gas, on brakes, on maintenance of the car. The saving from my plan, I figured it mathematically, is about $50 million a day for California alone. That's figuring 4 million vehicles during the day transporting in LA freeway. These 4 million drivers, average salary of $20. That's $8 million there, correct? Now multiply that to 10 hours of driving. That's a lot of money. That's $80 million a day. Oh, we'll figure it out that if figure it out on the losing side. If, for example, you save half an hour of driving every day, that half an hour is $10, correct? $10 every half an hour. Let's say if you drive 8 hours or 10 hours a day like I'm driving, hey, that's a tremendous amount of saving, $10 an hour, multiple the 4 million, that's 4 million times $10, that's 40 million. Very simple. Math don't lie. So my patent also create job, and my patent also managed by a satellite that control the speed. Let's say if it's tremendously raining and you cannot see 10 feet in front of you, your speed is not going to be 75. Your speed going to be according to the traffic that satellite let you know. The same rules. The distance remains same by the sensors, but the speed going to be lower, meaning the pass lane maybe become 45 miles per hour or so. So actually now that you look at it, you see I'm driving almost 80 miles that I shouldn't drive. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put it on cruise. I believe I have it on cruise at 75. Yes, so I'm at cruise at 75. And yeah, this is at 3:30 p.m. in the afternoon, Sunday. Now, when the COVID going to be ended, what's going to happen on Sunday? Basically, this freeway is bumper to bumper. You cannot drive like I'm driving now, 75 miles per hour. Your average going to be probably 35 or 40 miles an hour. And then the congestion start, especially with the existing rules of speeding. So, my patent actually has a very positive stuff from the law side. Basically, it has lights all over the freeway, every maybe 100 feet, another pole, that during the day they are down. They have solars that collect the energy from sun, and in the evening they rise automatically with a photocell and become a light to light up the freeway. So we're going to have fully lit freeways like Europe. Another thing in my patent basically is that it's very, very saving too. I have been driving 90 miles per hour. So, regarding to my patent and its saving, what else? Oh, yeah. We have cameras all over, of course, that they're going to pick up any bad driver. And of course, it's registered automatically, the license number. Cameras don't lie, people lie. So we're going to eliminate basically the small traffic court that exists. Traffic court basically is one of the most incredible income of the justice system. Is better than a bank, because every day they punish drivers that follow the crooked law of a 65 miles per hour for every lane. That is against the all logic of the traffic law. For example, the diamond lane, the stupid diamond lane on the left-hand side or the fast lane of the freeway is the most idiotic thing that ever created in a history of the driving. Look at it. Look at his effect. None. This was established when Carter was president, unfortunately. Many of you do not know that. The busing started with Carter, busing of school children. The one that Kampala was in it, the vice president. Yes. So here we are. So COVID actually benefited America in many ways. Maybe it was a loss for Donald, despite that he brought the vaccine and fought it like a lion. That is not. History cannot lie. Donald Trump brought the vaccine as he promised, and it should have been literally talked to America before the election. But pharmaceutical prevented the victory from Donald Trump. They admitted it the same data that they had in mid-October. They sat on it and sent it 2 weeks after the election. That's being biased. And Trump, as a lion and a fighter he is, he get back to them 2 days later with reducing the medicine for elderly people like me to 50%. He actually gave them back with a knife in their chest. Now we don't know what's going to happen with Mr. Biden. Most of his advisors are lobbyists. What happened to Bernie Sanders voters? They start fighting back for their rights, for the promises that given to them. Let government of Biden be the leftiest ever. This is only good for America. This is darkness before the light, and the light will shine back again. Never in life let hope lose you. Never, under any circumstances, because only hope gives us a life. Keep us alive. Let us live for tomorrow. I'm getting to a beautiful section of Camarillo. Look at that view. Only God creates such a beautiful land on earth so we can live on it and talk to each other and understand each other and speak. Speak freely, without a fear. Say whatever in your mind. This is the American freedom and the First Amendment of America being the heaven on earth. That is snake trying to destroy it, but they will not succeed because the poison is not strong enough for the United States to lose its freedom. The land of the free shall remain. It does not matter if Biden is president, because his presidency is the darkness on earth. Look at the vice president, Kamala Harris. Kampala Harris. I paid $9,000 fine and lawyers between October 14, 2010 and March 11 of 2011. I received 5 moving violations at the same point on Ventura Freeway, 101 Freeway. Cost me $9,000. This is your vice president. He jailed 15,000 blacks while she was Attorney General. I'm banned from Facebook because I said that Kampala slept with Willie Brown. I have black witnesses that telling me how they supply coke and heroin to Willie Brown and Kamala Harris. And maybe on my next video, I ask her to explain and speak slowly so we all understand what she said. I'm getting to my destination. That was a great video, and I hope you're gonna listen to it and have the patience to follow my future videos. That's probably going to be on Instagram, or if I manage to get Parler, going to be on Parler. So I thank you so much. Have a nice weekend. This is California, beautiful California, that is communistic already. Have a good day.